1. Angels' thrilling comeback, 3 homers spark victory over Phillies. 2. Taylor Ward's late homer powers Angels past Phillies in thriller. 3. Phillies' power surge falls short, Harper's 2 homers not enough versus Angels MLB highlights. 1. Angels' thrilling comeback, 3 homers spark victory over Phillies. The Los Angeles Angels just staged a dramatic comeback victory that could define their entire season. Facing the Philadelphia Phillies in a crucial post-All-Star break matchup, the Halos unleashed a power surge with 3 home runs to erase a deficit and claim a 6-5 win. This wasn't just another game, it kicked off a make-or-break stretch determining whether they'll be buyers or sellers at the looming trade deadline on July 31st. Here's where it gets controversial. Despite fielding 7 pitchers in an unconventional bullpen game, a strategy where relievers replaced traditional starters, the offense stole the spotlight. Mike Trout ignited the rally in his emotional return to Philadelphia, lacing a double and a clutch RBI single. Then came the fireworks. Jorge Soler cracked a solo homer, Joe Adell launched a 2-run blast for his 20th of the year, and Taylor Ward crushed the game-winning 2-run shot in the 7th inning, his team-leading 22nd homer, tying him for 5th in the American League. But here's the part most people miss: Ward's heroics come amid persistent trade rumors. Even though he's under team control through 2026, his name surfaces annually in deadline talks. His response: "I want to win with this group, it'd be the cherry on top to reach the playoffs together." Is loyalty enough to keep him in Anaheim, or will front office pragmatism prevail? Let us know your take below. The Angels clawed back from 4-1 down after Phillies superstar Bryce Harper hammered a 3-run homer in the 3rd. Adell's 4th-inning homer and Trout's 5th-inning RBI single set the stage for Ward's 7th-inning heroics. Trout now sits just 5 homers shy of 400 for his career and 4 RBIs from 1,000, milestones overshadowed by the team's painful reality: no postseason since 2014, MLB's longest active drought. Closer, Kenley Jansen sealed the win with his 17th save, yet he's another trade candidate after signing a $10 million deal last winter. His stance: "I came here to turn this into a winning organization. We can sneak into the wild card, you never know." But this raises a divisive question: should the Angels keep veterans like Trout, Ward, and Jansen for a playoff push, or leverage their value for long-term rebuilding? With the Angels now 48-49, hovering near .500 since late April, the next 2 weeks are critical. As Ward put it, "It's time to go past this mark." If Friday's resilient, pass-the-baton offense and lockdown bullpen, outside of Harper's blast, are any indication, this team believes it can defy expectations. But do you? Can they end baseball's longest playoff drought, or is this core destined for a shakeup? The debate starts in the comments. 2. Taylor Ward's late homer powers Angels past Phillies in thriller. The trade rumors won't go away, but Taylor Ward's homer will keep the Angels in the hunt. In a thrilling game that had fans on the edge of their seats, the Los Angeles Angels took down the Philadelphia Phillies 6-5 on Friday night, thanks in large part to Taylor Ward's tie-breaking 2-run homer in the 7th inning. This win couldn't have come at a better time for the Angels, who are just 12 games away from the trade deadline and are still fighting for a playoff spot. But here's where it gets interesting: Ward's name has been floating around in trade rumors, and he's not the only one. Closer, Kenley Jansen is also likely to be dealt if the Angels decide to sell, and both players have made it clear that they want to stay with the team. "I want to stay here," Ward said. "I want to win with this group. I think it'd be the cherry on top, getting to the playoffs and winning with this group." Jansen echoed Ward's sentiments, saying, "I came here with one mind, that's to try to help this organization, to turn it back to a winning organization." It's clear that both players are committed to the team and want to see it succeed. But the game didn't start off on the right foot for the Angels. They opted for a bullpen game, which is unusual for the team, and found themselves in a 4-1 hole by the 3rd inning. However, they managed to tie it up by the 5th, thanks in part to Joe Adell's 2-run homer in the 4th. In the 7th, Ward got a hanging sweeper from left-hander Tanner Banks and hit it over the left field fence, giving the Angels their first lead of the game. Ward's team-leading 22nd homer of the season made it 6-4. 3. Phillies' power surge falls short. Harper's 2 homers not enough versus Angels. MLB highlights. Power surge not enough. Phillies drop close game despite 3 homers. Philadelphia, the crowd at Citizens Bank Park finally erupted when Bryce Harper crushed a slider 366 feet for a solo blast to left field in the 8th inning. That thunderous shot narrowed the Angels' lead to 6-5 with nobody out, marking perhaps Harper's 3rd signature moment of the evening, the kind of clutch performance he's renowned for but hasn't consistently delivered this season. I consider myself among baseball's elite players. I just need to maintain that level, keep pushing forward, and remember to trust my teammates behind me in the lineup, Harper reflected after the game. Staying disciplined at the plate, avoiding bad pitches, and believing in my abilities are crucial. Though that's often easier said than done. That electrifying 8th inning homer should have sparked a rally. Instead, it was followed by 2 groundouts and a strikeout, extinguishing the momentum. When the final out was recorded an inning later, the NL East leading Phillies had fallen 6-5 to the Los Angeles Angels, a sub-.500 team currently tied for 3rd in the AL West. But here's where it gets interesting, the loss wasn't for lack of power. Harper felt rejuvenated during his pre-game batting practice. Following a 3-week stint on the injured list with right wrist inflammation, he claims to feel better than he has in a year. His performance certainly backed that up, 2 home runs and a scorching 113.8 miles per hour double into the right center gap, his hardest hit ball in 12 months. Between Friday's showing and his remarkable performance against San Francisco before the All-Star break, Harper appears to have rediscovered his rhythm at the plate. When Bryce gets hot, the entire team seems to elevate, pitcher Jesus Luzardo told reporters in San Francisco, a sentiment he echoed again on Friday. Yet most of Harper's teammates failed to match his offensive output against the Angels, and this is the part most people miss about the Phillies' current struggles. Bryson Stott, mired in a July slump with a dismal .156/.222/.281 batting line, was dropped to 9th in the starting lineup for the first time in a regular season game since October 3, 2022. His night proved forgettable, a lineout followed by a 3-pitch at-bat ending in a groundout. His replacement in the 7th inning, Edmundo Sosa, fared no better, striking out and grounding out to end the game. When asked if he would consider pinch hitting for Stott in future games, manager Rob Thomson was non-committal. It depends on the situation. We're waiting for Stotty to find his swing again. Leading off that inning against a lefty, with Turner, Schwarber, and Harper due up next, we were simply hoping to get a base runner. Stott isn't the only Philly struggling at the plate. Max Kepler, hitting a meager .167/.304/.167 over his last 7 games, drew loud boos from the home crowd when he grounded into a double play in the 2nd inning and again when he flied out for the 2nd out in the 9th. Overall, the team went a disappointing 1-for-7 with runners in scoring position. While much attention has focused on the bullpen's inconsistency, Friday's loss did include a relief pitching misstep when Tanner Banks surrendered a 7th-inning homer to Taylor Ward, extending the Angels' lead to 6-4. According to Thomson, Banks simply missed his location, delivering the pitch exactly where Ward prefers it. Banksy's generally been reliable for us, Thomson noted. He's not wrong. Banks has been one of the more consistent arms in a volatile bullpen that has posted a 4.12 ERA since Jose Alvarado's PED suspension on May 18. Even some of the less dependable relievers showed promise against the Angels. Joe Ross, who had allowed 11 earned runs across 13 2/3 innings in June and July, recovered from allowing a double to strike out 2 consecutive batters for a scoreless frame. Daniel Roberts similarly bounced back after yielding a triple, fanning 2 straight hitters. Nevertheless, the bullpen contributed to Friday's defeat. So did uneven starting pitching, as Luzardo, who was pulled after loading the bases during a laborious 28-pitch 5th inning, delivered another inconsistent performance. The stark contrast between what's working and what isn't for the Phillies was most evident in their offensive output. Harper was brilliant. All-Star Game MVP Kyle Schwarber lived up to his recent accolades with a home run in his first at-bat following his dramatic swing-off heroics. "He accomplishes remarkable things," Thompson observed. JT Realmuto continues his torrid July, going 2 for 4 to raise his monthly average to .439. However, the remainder of the lineup went a woeful 1 for 22 with just 2 walks. The Phillies currently rank 13th in the majors in runs scored, RBIs, and slugging percentage, .405. Since June 1, they've slipped to 21st in runs and RBIs and 19th in slugging, .401. Their offense has emphasized fundamentals over power hitting, but even when their stars delivered power on Friday, the team couldn't capitalize. If Harper maintains his hot streak, he could ignite the offense as he did during that 13-0 rout in San Francisco. A spark might also come from a trade deadline acquisition or perhaps a promotion for red-hot outfield prospect Justin Crawford. While bullpen stability and starting pitching consistency remain crucial concerns, achieving offensive balance is equally essential, something the Phillies have only managed in brief stretches. The team continues searching for consistency as the second half of the season intensifies. "We need to keep pushing,"